Hi, this is William and welcome to FlySpoke. In the vise right here I have a version of a Warren Duncan green machine, and his addition to the green machine was to put the basically his Undertaker fly green and red butt on the back, and then a while later came the addition of some crystal flash. So I'm going to show you how to tie this fly. It's one you absolutely want to have in your box. I'm going to start off with a simple salmon low water double. And some white 140 denier thread. Basically I'm going to be spinning some hair, so I'm using a little stiffer thread for the beginning of the fly. The white really masks itself and you really don't see it, so it also works well with floss. I'm going to start off using some very fine wire. And I'm just going to put a couple of turns on a butt on the back of the fly, a tag of some silver wire. And what I do with this, I go backwards with it towards the back of the fly, and just a couple turns. You don't need a lot. And then to make that take care of the end, I simply bring it to this side, raise it up, pass it through the double hook, and tie it off. Then you want to look at it here. You want to make sure that that end is packed in there well and no big space in it. Clip it off. Next item, I'm going to take one strand of green crystal flash and bend it in half and clip the loop and bend it in half again and clip the loop. And this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply tie this on halfway, front to back, directly on top, bend it back, cover over. That way with synthetics, you always want to tie in synthetics if you can. By looping them rather than at the tips. That way they're in there very well, not likely to pull out. And I'm just going to snip that about right there. A little tail. Next thing is some green floss, and this is basically it's called hot green. For both the green and the red here, you certainly can use fluorescent colors. Drag that to the bottom, pull tightly, a couple of wraps forward. Now I'm going to twist counterclockwise, make a wrap, twist counterclockwise, make another wrap right in front of it, twist counterclockwise, right in front, and one more. So I've got 4 wraps, and I want to put my thread immediately next to it. And I'm going to advance my thread forward, leveling out that base right there. And trim off my green. Okay, now I'm just going to cross over, nice level base, go back to there, where I'm going to take some Unifloss red, and I'm going to tie in the red. Again, right next to the green, take it to the bottom, Make sure your base is level. And again, I'm going to twist counterclockwise and put these turns perfectly next to the green, keeping them perpendicular as possible to the hook. Twist counterclockwise if you need to. And again, approximately 4 wraps, equal size to the green is what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. Now let's trim all this excess out. Okay. Now, right next to that, we're going to take some dark green, green machine green, deer body hair, spinning hair. And I'm going to take a clump, decent sized clump. I'm going to trim off the tips, so all I have left is a double cut ends. And I'm going to loose wrap, loose, and then on the loose wrap I'm going to pull it right around and get it to spin on. Pack it back. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. Another clump. Pack it good. I'm pushing one against the other. And now I need one more smaller clump I'm going to put on in the front. You gotta make sure you don't cross over and grab the, yeah, I grabbed it. Grab the hairs that are already there. If you grab any of the hairs, it will not spin. You gotta do your best to stay in front of everything and spin it on. Okay. Alright, so now I'm just going to take this little tool I create, it's just a pick with a piece of tubing on the end, and I simply stick that over and push it on like that, and I take my scissor, I'm careful of my thread of course, and I'm just trimming around the tube. You got to make sure you don't clip your thread. I'm creating a little space . Just created a little space in the very front so that I can tie this white thread off without tying in the little hairs of the deer hair. And I just put a 3x whip finish there. Now I can take my big scissors and I can simply start going to town on this. Nothing's in the way. Okay, so now when you start getting down to, and you want to just pick up a smaller pair of scissors, more delicate, just keep trimming away. You don't have to be, you really don't have to be fanatical about this. Fish can't tell. But and you just make a decent shape to it. Slightly cigar shape kind of thing. Okay, that's suitable. Looks pretty good. A little raggedy edge right here. Alright. And now I'm just going to take some little bit lighter thread. It's a 100 denier Danville thread, pre-waxed. And I'm simply going to run it there. And I'm going to take approximately, this is a size 8 double, and I'm going to take approximately a size 14 dry fly hackle in brown. Right here, and I'm just going to clean up from the very loose stuff. I want it to have stand up. And I'm going to take my black thread and I'm going to cut right through, cutting it right in through the deer hair, wiggle it back and forth. You won't see it. I'll trim. And I'm just going to take this on this side here. I'm going to take my hackle and I'm going to pull that down in. Again, you really won't see it. Wiggle it in because the hairs are going all over the place. So if you just wiggle it a little bit, you can watch the thread get buried right in. And I'm just going to take my hackle and I'm going to actually be slightly burying that in as well. Bury the stem in so that the hairs are sticking out. The barbules are sticking up. Finish it off right in the front. Okay, now again we want to push everything back. I simply take my tube, push my tube on. And I'll put a couple of wraps right next to the tube. Pull the tube off. Gets pretty clean. I mean, you still might have a couple of barbules that are in the way, but I'm going to finish off the head without catching any barbules. I brush them slightly back, make the barbules stand up. Crystal Flash Green Machine. There it is.